You're going on your first Carnival cruise on the Radiance, Firenze, or Panorama. How exciting! If you are anything like me, you have watched a ton of YouTube videos before your first cruise to prepare yourself, and there is still one thing that you're not sure about, and that's getting off the ship. Don't worry, this video is going to show you everything that you need to know and be your ultimate guide to debarkation for Carnival cruise ships sailing out of Long Beach. My name is Ruben. I love cruising on Carnival while sharing my tips and adventures with all of you. I have more than 200 days sailing on Carnival all out of Long Beach. I am on the Radiance, Firenze, and Panorama constantly. And now that I've earned the highest status of Diamond, I want to share with you everything that I have learned about debarking on more than 30 cruises and lots of chats with Carnival crew and their officers.
Whatever you do, travel safely.
I want you to have the certainty to feel more comfortable getting on the ship because you will know exactly how to get off the ship. Now watch to the end for a cheat code that even many Diamond cruisers don't know about. What is debarkation and other terms? Before we get started, let me explain a few terms that you will need to know before you get on the ship. Embarkation. This is the process of getting on the ship. Your first day is often called embarkation day. Bow. This is the very front of the ship. Fore or forward. This is facing the front of the ship. Aft. Facing the back of the ship. Stern. The actual back of the ship. Port. The left side of the ship. Starboard. The right side of the ship. Now, two things that might help you remember is that port has 4 letters the same as left. Or you can think PS. Port, starboard. Left, right. Gangway. The movable walkway used to get off the ship. One important thing to note is that you will use the gangway on deck 0 to get off the ship while you are in a port like Ensenada, Cabo, or Catalina Island. This is not where you exit the ship on the last day, however. Debarkation. Speaking of leaving the ship, that process is called debarkation. This is when thousands of guests who have been having the vacation of their life all leave the ship in a matter of hours with all of their luggage and belongings. Another term that you might hear more often with other cruise lines is disembarkation. They both mean the same thing, but Carnival uses the term debarkation more often. Debarkation choices. Now that you know what debarkation is, let me explain the big choice that you will have to make that will dictate exactly what debarkation looks like for you and when you need to get started. That key decision is how you are getting your luggage off the ship. On Carnival, there are 2 options, and your choice dictates how everything else works. The first option is checked debarkation, and the other is called self-assisted or express debarkation. One common question people ask me is, Adam, which debarkation option should I select? First of all, my name's not Adam. Second, it totally depends on what is important to you. Let's break down both choices so you can figure out which option you should pick. The first option is checked luggage debarkation. This is the hands-free option that makes it super easy for you to get off the ship because the porters do all the hard work for you. The night before you debark, you pack up everything you want taken off the ship for you, attach luggage tags to each bag, and put them outside your stateroom door before the deadline. Now this is usually 9 or 10 p.m. If you miss the deadline, you will need to carry everything off yourself. The crew collects your luggage and takes them off the ship for you. On debarkation morning, you take the rest of your personal belongings and exit the ship to collect your belongings at the terminal, just like you would in an airport. The pro to this option is that it's super easy. You barely need to lift a finger, and you do not have to worry about navigating the packed hallways and elevators, towing all of your belongings behind you. The two cons are that it takes a little bit longer to get off the ship because you have to wait for your luggage, and it also takes some more planning and foresight because your luggage is taken the night before you leave. So you will need to keep your passport or birth certificates, ID, and enough personal belongings to make it through one night and one morning. Carnival's recommended option is doing self-assisted or express debarkation. Now, it's called express debarkation for a reason. It is quicker than checked debarkation. The other name for it is self-assisted debarkation because that's what you're doing. You carry all of your luggage and belongings off yourself. That is the important part, is if you choose this option, you need to make sure that you and your party are able to carry all of your belongings off. The crew are not able to assist you in any way. Now, the two pros are that this is the quickest option for getting off the ship. This can be especially handy if you are trying to catch a flight out. The other pro is that you do not need to strategically split your belongings in two with the off chance that you might forget something. That important thing could be like a change of clothes or your documentation. This could seriously disrupt your entire debarkation process. The con is that you are juggling all of your belongings yourself. But stay tuned, because for both options, I'm going to give you a great tip and a shortcut to make debarkation way easier. Selecting debarkation. When everyone in your party knows the debarkation preference you want to use, the Hub app to select your debarkation. Along with this, you are going to select your debarkation time. On the Hub app, look for Digital Debark. If you do not see it, click on the More button on the bottom right, Port Passes, and then Digital Debark. The earlier you decide and set up debarkation in the app, the more options you will have on time slots to choose from. Do you know if you're going to be Team Checked Luggage or Team Express? Let me know in the comments below. Debarkation Prep. The real secret to a smooth debarkation is not what you do in the morning. It's how you prep the night before. And this is where you avoid all of the headaches. On your last full day, look for your debarkation instructions. This will contain crucial information for you to know, even though most or all of it you will already know now that you've watched this video. But take a read through just in case something changes or is different. Carnival updates their procedures regularly, so you do not want to be caught off guard. The first part of your debarkation prep will actually have nothing to do with your luggage or bags. This is because you need to check and settle your onboard payment and spending account. If your payment account was a credit or debit card, check your purchases to make sure you do not have any erroneous charges. If you have a cash account, you need to make sure that you have enough money to cover the automatic gratuities. If you did not, your account will be flagged, and security will be meeting you when you try to leave and can disrupt the entire process. Now, if you want more information about onboard purchases and the most important thing you need to know about as a first-time Carnival cruiser, check out this video here. Now, if there are any issues, go to guest services the day before, because it is way easier to take care of these issues now while you are on the ship than during the crazy rush of disembarkation morning or even when you get off the ship. Now, for the most important part, packing. If you are team check luggage, it is time to pack. But wait, before you zip those bags shut, you need to pack your last night carry-on. This may be the most important tip in the whole video. Once your checked luggage is out the door, you won't see it again until you are off the ship. So anything that you need between now and then must stay with you. So what's in this magic bag? First, travel documents, your passport or birth certificate, ID, and your sail and sign card. Do not pack these in a checked bag. I repeat, do not pack them. Your sail and sign card will be scanned as your final act of leaving the ship. Everything else are all of the items you will need for a full night's stay and anything you need the next morning. This might include medications, valuables, pajamas, a change of clothes, and toiletries. Now, if this tip just saved you from a huge panic attack, please do me a favor and share it with all of your friends who plan ahead and family who need to see this video. It really helps me and my channel with the YouTube algorithm so that other first-time Carnival cruisers can see this video as well and not make this big mistake. The last step of debarkation prep is getting your luggage ready. Once you are done packing, take your luggage tags and fill them out. Attach one luggage tag to each of your bags. I also recommend removing any airline tags or previous luggage tags to remove any confusion. Then, put your luggage outside your cabin before the deadline, which is usually 9 or 10 p.m. Debarkation process. Okay, so you are all ready for the big morning, but now you are wondering what to expect on debarkation morning. No worries, let's walk through the entire morning together. The first thing you need to know is that you need to be completely out of your cabin by 8:30 a.m. This is so that the amazing housekeeping team has time to turn over everything for the next guests. Some of them have as little as 1 hour to turn over the cabin. But before you leave your cabin, I like to do one last sweep and do a dummy check to make sure I've taken everything. You can imagine the things that I've left behind or seen left behind. Check every drawer, the closet, under the bed, in the bathroom. You would be amazed at what gets left behind. Oh, and check the safe. One last time. Before you go rushing off the ship, pause for a second and ask, do I want one last breakfast before I go? If you do, the Lido buffet is definitely open, but one hidden gem is the main dining restaurant or MDR. If you want a nice seated breakfast and a place to hang out, this can be a great option. Now remember, there is no crying in baseball. I mean, there is no room service on debarkation morning. Also note that most food places close earlier than every other day, so check the hub app for the times on your ship. Knowing that you need to be out of your cabin by 8:30, here are two breakfast options. One is to get breakfast early enough that you can get back to your cabin and gather everything. The other option is to take all of your belongings with you to breakfast and leave the cabin for good. For both options, what comes next is the waiting game. This is where we get to hang out waiting for our scheduled debarkation to come and our group to get called. Depending on the ship, there are different waiting areas for you to hang out. A lot of them are on deck 4 or 5, as well as the Lido deck on maybe deck 9 or 10. On the Firenze and Panorama, a great area to wait is the Heroes Bar, because I often do not see many people there and they've got these nice, comfy couches to sit in. Very important. Meet your entire group in the waiting area before heading down. Do not think that you can just meet them at the exit, because you will actually be redirected back to the waiting areas, as that area gets very crowded on debarkation day. Now, while you wait, make sure you stay connected to the ship's Wi-Fi on the hub app, because that will notify you which groups are being called to debark. You will also hear the announcements on the ship's PA. Now, it could be tempting to turn off airplane mode and start checking your messages, but some phones, when you do this, you lose connection to the hub app. And that's when you do not get your messages and won't find out that it is time for you to leave. Fortunately, the hub app team is working very hard with some awesome updates on the way for all of you. Now, it is tempting to want to rush before your group gets called, but the reason they set up groups is to help stagger when people get off. This makes the process as smooth and seamless as possible, and it only works as well as you. Plus, If you are group 30 and try to leave with group 5, your bags probably won't be ready anyway, and you'll just have to stand around in the terminal waiting for your bags anyway. And it is much less comfortable there. Now, once your boarding group is called and you want to make your way to the exit, on Carnival Long Beach ships, such as the Radiance, Firenze, and Panorama, you will be debarking or exiting on deck 3 forward through the atrium. Important info. Here are a few important things to know. The elevators on debarkation day get jam-packed, so bring your patience with you. Know your ship's layout. For the Radiance, Firenze, and Panorama, do not take the elevator down to deck 3 in the back or after the ship, because you will not be able to walk all the way forward to get to the exit. On the Radiance, you will need to walk forward on any deck except for decks 3 and 4. On the Firenze and Panorama, decks 1, 2, and 4 through 10 will take you to the forward or middle elevator. Sometimes it's actually easier to go to deck 2 and go up than it is to try to go down. Now, you need to have your sail and sign card to leave the ship. That's right. So keep it with you and have it ready to be scanned when leaving. Fun fact, each ship does things a little bit differently and processes are updated all the time. So even if you did it a specific way the last cruise, it might be changing this time. Also, if you are lucky enough to be on a special charter cruise like Cali Country or Old School Cruise, they do things a little bit differently. So always listen to the announcements and read the debarkation paper.
Ciao.
Another great source of information is the debarkation presentation, and some ships even have it playing on repeat on the TVs. Now, if you want the freshest and most up-to-date information, or you have a question, well, stay tuned and I'll tell you exactly who to ask. Wheelchair assistance. If you are not able to debark on your own, you may ask for wheelchair assistance. The debarkation information will tell you where the meeting point for this is. You will check in and wait for a crew member to bring a wheelchair and wheel you off. Something very important for you to know is that you or someone else in your party will need to take your luggage off. The crew are not able to assist you with that, and you are not allowed to put your luggage on your lap and have them push you, unless it is a small personal bag. So if you need assistance with luggage, please use the checked luggage option and only bring a small personal bag with you. Now, if you need assistance getting to the meeting area on the morning of, please call room service in advance so that they can help make arrangements for you. Terminal expectations. You made it. You are back on land. Just 2 more steps. If you are team self-assist, you are way ahead of the game. Walk back the way you came and head towards the customs line. When you first get in the terminal, there is an elevator here to the left if you need. If you checked your luggage, your first stop is this massive baggage claim hallway where you get to on the first floor. Look for the signs for your luggage tag number and look for your luggage. Now, whether you brought your own luggage or you checked your luggage, there are porters available to help you bring your luggage the last few steps. Fun fact, if you see a huge line at customs, this is actually a great cheat code to bypass that huge line because porters have their own separate line. Just remember to tip them well. Now, the final step is Customs and Border Protection, or CBP. When you get here, you will see 2 lines. One is for passports and the other is for birth certificates. If you opted in for facial recognition, you will get scanned, and it's usually an easy green light and off you go. Most guests simply walk through facial recognition in customs unless they have items that they need to declare. Know that as the day progresses, the birth certificate line gets exponentially longer than the passport line. This is one more reason I recommend traveling with a passport if you can. Cheat codes. If you are wondering how crazy things get when you have 5,000 people all trying to leave the ship in a single file line with all their luggage in the span of a couple hours, you are probably right to think that things are going to be a little bit chaotic. So I'm going to give you 4 cheat codes. Each one gets progressively better, and while the last one is amazing. The first cheat code is to leave as soon as possible. While you will still have a little bit of traffic, it is way less hectic. The second cheat code is to leave as late as possible. Let the huge mass of people leave first while you relax, have breakfast, and chill before leaving. Just make sure that you leave when they make the final call, because there is a ton of work for all of the crew to get ready for their next sailing in the matter of minutes. The third cheat code is that even cruisers with the highest status of Diamond don't know, is that if you are not sure what to do or have a question, ask a Fun Squad member, not guest services. This is because they are the boots on the ground directing traffic and making everything happen on disembarkation day.
Good morning, Firenze family, and welcome to your Debarkation Highway. This morning, we do ask all our travelers to please have their room key in their hand, ready to be scanned by security up ahead. Your room key is able to stay in that plastic sleeve. We just ask that the barcode is showing. If you have any junior cruisers traveling in your party today, we do ask the adult cruisers to scan off first, followed by our junior cruisers second. And lastly, do not worry if you've lost your room key. Just let security know your cabin number and then you'll be good to go. Whatever you do, travel safely. My name is Jaden, part of your incredible entertainment team on board. If you liked me, I'm here till September. If you didn't like me, my name is Steven, and we'll see you in October. Ciao.
Okay, are you ready for the best cheat code? Purchase faster to the fun. If you really want the easiest experience both coming and leaving the ship, consider purchasing faster to the fun. Why? Because you can get access to a dedicated area and you leave the ship before everyone else. This is the perfect option if you want to minimize the craziness and the crowds. Now, if you want more information where I break down all of the pros and cons about faster to the fun to decide if it's worth it, check out this video here.